A very good morning to one and all present here. I am Rakhi Olak from DAV Pushpanjali. Today in class 10th English, let us discuss the second chapter of Unit 3, two stories about flying, named The Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. Since the earliest times, humans have dreamt of conquering the skies. The first story we read was about a young seagull who was afraid of flying and eventually he overcame his fear. Now, the second story is about a pilot who was lost in storm clouds. The story comes under the literary genre of mystery fiction. There are many world mysteries which do not have definitive explanations. Needless to say, we all have heard a lot about them, be it the famous Bermuda Triangle mystery, UFO sightings, presence of aliens, etc. But before we proceed with the Black Aeroplane, let us have a quick look at the biography of author Frederick Forsyth. Forsyth is a New York Times best-selling author of 17 novels, short story collections, and a memoir. A former Air Force pilot and a reporter, he also served as a diplomatic correspondent for the BBC. He has had 4 movies and 2 television mini-series made from his works. Forsyth is the winner of 3 Edgar Awards. In 2012, he won the Diamond Dragger Award from the Crime Writers Association and a Lifetime Achievement Award for the Sustained Excellence. He lives in Buckinghamshire, England. The short story, The Black Aeroplane, narrates the strange incident encountered by him long ago. One night, when he was flying his old Dakota aeroplane from France to England. The story has many words from flying aviation terminology, such as compass, which is a navigational instrument for finding directions. Runway is the other word, which stands for a long, hard ground road along which the aircrafts take off and land. Radar, a system that uses radio waves to find position and give signals, and many more words. In the beginning of the story, we see that the narrator started his journey for England from Paris with his old Dakota aeroplane at 1:30 in the morning. After consulting the Paris control, he switched over to his second and last fuel tank and turned his aircraft 12 degrees west towards England. He was eager to reach England so that he could have breakfast with his family. Although the sky was clear when he started his journey, it soon became unfavorable as storm clouds accumulated in front of Dakota. The narrator did not want to head back to Paris, so he flew the old Dakota aeroplane straight into the storm. He lost control over his aircraft as the Dakota jumped and twisted in the storm. He also found that his compass, radio, and other such instruments had stopped working. Suddenly, he saw a black aeroplane flying next to him. It had no lights on its wings. However, the sight of another person relieved him. The person of the black aeroplane waved at him and asked him to follow him as he turned towards the north. The narrator blindly followed the black aeroplane. After about half an hour, just when the narrator was thinking that his fuel was about to get exhausted, he found himself out of the clouds. The sight of the runway and an airport gave the narrator a big sense of relief. Upon landing safely, he was surprised to find that there was no sign of the black aeroplane. When he inquired about the black aeroplane and its pilot in the control room, he was informed that there was no other aeroplane flying in the storm except his own. The narrator was left to wonder that who was flying the black aeroplane that helped him to land safely, even though his Dakota had no working compass or radio while his fuel was completely exhausted. So, this was the short story which narrates a very strange incident encountered by him one night. Students, the short story also gives us a very deep insight into mysteries occurring in day-to-day life as well. This story ends on a mysterious note as the protagonist finds out that there was no other aeroplane flying at that time in that area. He ended his narrative with a question that how was the pilot on the other aeroplane able to fly in the storm without lights? This remained an unsolved mystery for him. Dear students, as you read the chapter, try answering these short questions for a better comprehension check. These questions will navigate your understanding in the right directions. Here, for example, we have also given you worksheets, multiple choice questions, along with the working with language questions on vocabulary. Take time to read these simple narratives and check the assignments. And the questions, the extra questions that you should be doing later on in the assignments would also give you an extrapolation into the theme and the element of mystery. For example, who saved the narrator when he had lost all contacts on the radio with the Paris control? Who was the pilot on the black aeroplane who helped the narrator to land safely without a compass, without the radio, and without much fuel? These questions remained an unsolved puzzle for him. Even the lady in the control room couldn't detect any other plane on the stormy night other than the old Dakota on the radar. The mysterious pilot of the black aeroplane was like the God's help sent to the narrator to land safely. The narrator was in real trouble before the mysterious black aeroplane appeared near him. He was lost among the mountains of the black clouds in front of him. To make things worse, his compass became dead. The other instruments became dead too. He couldn't contact Paris control as the radio was also not working. God knows what would have been his condition had the pilot of the black aeroplane not guided him out of the storm clouds to safety. Here, Frederick Forsyth also gives us a clear message that one should never lose hope in the most hopeless situations. No one knows who may come to save you, but one must not leave working towards the aim. Never say die till the end. Children, please make sure that you attempt all the questions in the assignments. Thank you all and wish you all a very happy reading.